Hi, this is Sue Andersen, and this is a special episode. Happy birthday to my podcast. It's 1 year old, and I've managed 50 episodes in this first year. A little bit longer than a year, but 50 episodes. And I'm quite proud of that because I just learned today that less than 10%, something like 9.5% of podcasts get to 50 episodes in a year. So, so I'm patting myself on the back for that one. I'm very happy that I was able uh, to do that because it does take a lot, surprisingly. But welcome to this episode. And I wanted to just take you back to the beginning, right? So in 2024, was thinking about doing a podcast and had it going back and forth in my head. Am I going to do a podcast? Am I going to write a book or do more blogging? And I decided, podcast. I feel much more comfortable talking uh, and sharing information with other people through this medium, the podcast medium. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to go for it. So I got a lot of really good feedback from my email subscribers, which was very encouraging. I signed up for a training to help me understand how to do podcasting. And I worked with my coach, Amanda McKinney. Shout out to Amanda, who kind of was there pushing me along, right, in a nice way. Like, let's set the goals. When are you going to record? Set that date, practice, all of that sort of thing. So my first episode was on June 9th. So like I said, I'm recording on the 16th, so a little bit more than 1 year, but still. So thinking back on the past year, episodes that I think were helpful to people based on the number of people that downloaded the episode. Um, these were stories. These were discussions mostly, so it was me interviewing somebody. Um, the first one was Adrienne Terrell, and she talked about journaling. She's also a yoga teacher, and she lost her son to suicide. So we talked about the power of journaling, and it was a really, really good episode. People seem to enjoy that. Another discussion that I had, which actually ended up being 2 episodes, was with Jean Hewell Chambers, and it was called Stitching Stories. So this was fiber arts and how fiber arts help with grief. Following that, I spoke with book author Jessica Fine about the struggles that she went through in her life, and then her story about the last few years of her daughter's life. I had a really great conversation with Ronnie Walker, who's the executive director of the Alliance of Hope, about suicide loss survival and her mission to create the Alliance of Hope. One of the episodes that was popular, number 33, that was a solo episode that I did, was called Marking Milestones. So grieving through birthdays and anniversaries and those sorts of things. So, a favorite one of mine, because I had never heard of it before, was number 35. And this was with Heathcliff St. James DeVille. And it was about a bereavement tea ceremony. So that's something to listen to. He's from Australia. we had a great conversation, and I had never heard of this bereavement tea ceremony, so I was really intrigued by the whole thing. It sounds just absolutely beautiful, um, and he got a lot out of it. As when you listen to the episode, you would hear. I also did a series of episodes on different healing modalities that I've been trying. So there was one on astrology. There was one on breath work with Claire O'Brien, and that was very powerful. The elemental breathwork technique and class that I did with Claire, and just Claire's explanation about how breathwork can help us. She's a mental health professional and uses these tools in her practice. So that was also a really very powerful episode to listen to. So a little bit about this coming year. So year two. My goal is to have more interviews and find these different healing modalities or different stories that I think will be helpful to you, dear listener, on your path through grief, right? So kind of the what other people have found helpful, because remember that grief is individual. And grief does not follow any kind of a linear path. It's up and down, it's back and forth. Some things work for some people, some things work for you early stages, and some things work for you 12 years down the road, like me, right? So I would never have thought about doing some of the things that I'm doing today 12 years ago. And that's okay. It's actually really good because I've found some new ways to process grief. So that's one of my goals, is to create more podcasts with a guest. The other thing that you'll notice is that I'm not necessarily um, creating a podcast every week, because I do not want to be providing content that is not helpful to you. I want to provide content that is valuable. And so if I feel stuck, if I'm not happy with what I've recorded, I'm not going to publish it. I want to make sure that I'm in the right frame of mind, that my energy is there, and that I can therefore infuse that energy in you through my message, through my voice. And that's very important to me. So I might skip a week here and there, which I did this year as well, but you will find that. You will find that I have um, skipped some weeks, and that's okay. Like I said, I want to make the content valuable to you, and and I will make sure that again, I have the right energy and I'm in the right frame of mind for passing along this information. The other thing that I would really like to do is hear from you. So if there is a topic that you are interested in, if there's a guest you want me to interview that you think would make an interesting story or conversation, I'd love to hear that. And really love to know how this is helping you. So one way to do that is, of course, to leave a review on Apple or Spotify, not just a star, but actually writing something, so other people can see um, that this might be helpful to them too. I think that's the important thing here, is for people to be able to find this resource and get some benefit from it. The other thing you can do is go to my website and contact me through there, SueAndersonYoga.com, or send me an email, which is Sue@SueAndersonYoga.com. So either way, you can get to me directly to leave me some information, share with me what you might like to hear, because I would really like to hear that. Also, good books that you have read. I will be doing an episode about books that I have found helpful over these last 12, 13 years. And I want to share that with you as another resource. So, if you are interested in learning more about my offers, you can connect with me from my website, sueandersonyoga.com. I have a grief guide there that you can download, gets you on my email list, or you can just subscribe to my email list as well. So I thank you for your support over this past year and for celebrating with me on this 1 year anniversary, 50 episodes. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.